Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. It's time today for another book haul. I have quite a few books to share with you as per usual. And so we're just going to jump right in and tell you about the books. I did not sort these by genre. I sorted them by where I got them from. So the first little stack is from Book of the Month. Oh, they all look like chonkers this time around. But for March, nope, this is April. For April's Book of the Month choices, I picked Hang the Moon by Jeanette Walls. This was one of my anticipated reads, and Jeanette Walls wrote The Glass Castle that I really liked. This is a fiction based around the time of, moonshiners and bootleggers? What is it called? Prohibition era, that's what it's called. Sally is the daughter of the biggest man in a small town, born at the turn of the 20th century into a life of comfort and privilege. She remembers little about her mom, who died in a violent argument with her father, the charismatic Duke Kincaid. When the Duke remarries and has a son, Sally tries to teach him to be as bold and resourceful as their father and as Sally herself. But her daredevil coaching leads to an accident. To placate her stepmother, the Duke casts Sally out of the big house and out of town. So we're going to follow Sally, who's now 17, determined to reclaim her place in a family riddled with secrets. Prohibition era Virginia. I'm down. I love that it takes place in Virginia. I like that it's Prohibition era. I'm excited. Another anticipated read that was an option for Book of the Month I'm really excited for is Rachel Beanland's The House is on Fire. This one takes place right here in Richmond, Virginia, about a theater in 1811 where there is a fire, I believe. It's the night after Christmas. The theater is packed with people. Then there is a fire. And we follow 4 different people who have to make a split-second decision that will not only affect their own lives, but those of countless others. In the days that follow the fire, the path of these 4 people will become forever intertwined. I'm really excited because it's a local story to me, a local author to me, and it was on my anticipated reads list. So yay for that. I always feel like I win when Book of the Month also chooses books that were on my anticipated reads list. And then I did throw in an add-on this month of an older one, an option that was from a couple months ago, Kakei. This is from April of 2022, so a year ago. But lately I've just heard a lot about this book. It was one of my patrons recommended it to me last month. I didn't actually pick it, but after hearing her talk about it a little bit more, it's just something that I think I want to read sometime. This is by Vaishnavi Patel. Gorgeous cover. I think this is a little bit fantasy or is it historical? I'm not really even sure. I was born on the full moon under an auspicious constellation, the holiest of positions. Much good it did me. So begins Kakei's story, the only daughter of the kingdom of Kikeya. She is raised on tales of the gods, how they churned the vast ocean to obtain the nectar of immortality, how they vanquish evil and ensure the land of Bharat prospers, and how they offer powerful boons to the worthy. Yet she watches as her father unceremoniously banishes her mother, listens as her own worth is reduced to the marriage alliance she can secure. And when she calls upon the gods for help, they never seem to hear. Desperate for independence, she turns to the texts she once read with her mother and discovers a magic that is hers alone. With it, she transforms herself from an overlooked princess into a warrior, diplomat, and most favored queen. I'm very intrigued. And I've just heard good things about that one. Let's do the ones that were gifted to me so kindly. I have a handful of books that were sent to me this month. Christine Zinn sent me, this is just a little something to brighten your day. I'm reading this right now and it's really good. The main character reminds me of Anne of Green Gables at times. I'm thankful to hear Jordan is home, from Christine so kindly. She sent me A Girl Called Samson. I'm so excited. This is by Amy Harmon. It's her newest, about a young girl who pretends to be a boy to fight in the Revolutionary War. 1760, Deborah Sampson is born to Puritan parents in Plimpton, Massachusetts. When her father abandons the family and her mother is unable to support them, she's bound out as an indentured servant. From that moment on, she yearns for a life of liberation and adventure. 20 years later, she disguises herself as a soldier and enlists in the Continental Army. I'm so excited. I've already heard such good things about it. I do want to read Unknown Beloved. It's like on the stack of my 5-star predictions. I do want to read Unknown Beloved first, but this will definitely get read this year within the next couple of months. I'm very excited. And then Melinda, the dear Melinda, sent me a card that she made. You make me smile. So, so kind. And she, I think, goes to lots of thrift stores and library sales and found a handful that she thought I would like. So here they are. The first is a middle grade, The House That Lou Built by May Respicio. A tiny house fits everything anyone could ever need if you think of it that way. A tiny house isn't tiny at all. It's just right. It takes place in San Francisco, a Filipino family. And then Lou discovers it's not so easy to build a house, not when her beautiful land may not be hers for much longer, and her mom may want to move them out of state. But she won't give up on her dream, and her friends and family won't give up either. I've never heard of this one. It sounds really cute. Determined middle grade girl. Then we have, oh my word, Susan Meissner. This is an old Susan Meissner. It's called The Lady in Waiting. Look at that. And it's an autographed copy. What? Sure enough, Susan Meissner. How cool. I've never heard of this one. I know she has a huge backlist. She's a pretty prolific author. So in the present day, we follow a young woman named Jane who lost her husband. Brad just packed up everything and left their Manhattan home, but she finds a ring, an old ring in a box of relics from a British jumble sale, and discovers a Latin inscription in the band along with just one recognizable word, Jane. She feels an instant connection to this mysterious ring that has her name on it. She begins a journey to find out more about the ring. And then we travel back to the 16th century where Lucy Day becomes the dressmaker to Lady Jane Grey, an innocent young woman whose fate seems to be controlled by a dangerous political and religious climate, one threatening to deny her true love and pursuit of her own interests. And then the two stories are going to intertwine a little bit as well. I am curious to read an older Susan Meissner. I don't think I have. Maybe I've only read one of her older things. I'm excited to give that a chance. Then we have The German Heiress by Annika Scott. This definitely looks like historical fiction. Woman facing away. Oh, deckled edges. This one is going to be World War II. Claire Falkenberg, once Germany's most eligible and lauded heiress, earned the nickname the Iron Fräulein during World War II for her role operating her family's ironworks empire. Now the war is over, so it's going to be mostly post-war, I guess. She's left with nothing but a false ID card and a series of burning questions about her family's past. Narrowly escaping a near disastrous interrogation by a British officer, she arrives home to discover the city in ruins and Elisa missing. It's her dear friend. This book questions the meaning of justice and morality, deftly shining a spotlight on the often overlooked perspective of German women who were caught in the crossfire of the Nazi regime and had nowhere to turn. Curiouser and curiouser. Mr. Darcy's Little Sister. I love it, by C. Ellen Pearson. So is this going to be about a Georgiana Darcy love story? He's the best big brother, generous to a fault, protective, never teases, but over his dead body is any rogue or fortune hunter going to get near his little sister? Unfortunately, any gentleman who wants to court Georgiana is going to have the same problem. So how's a girl ever going to meet the gentleman of her dreams? I love it. I love Pride and Prejudice related or Jane Austen related books. Melinda knows that about me, and she chose that one well. And then the final book from Melinda is called London After Midnight. And this is a tour of criminal haunts, stories by Agatha Christie, P.D. James, and Graham Greene, and others. A collection of short stories that take place in London, kind of like the dark side of London or the unknown parts of London. So London seems tied to its glorious history and landmarks that are reminders of the British Empire's age of splendor, but there's another darker London which is no less famous, the city of fog-enshrouded midnights and alleyways lit eerily by gas lamps. It's a place of mayhem, murder, and mystery, which serves to remind us that even amid glory and splendor, there is evil. So this is a bone-chilling collection of 22 stories, a guided tour of the city's darker side. That's going to be a lot of fun. Some short stories, since I'm hoping... I haven't been doing very good with my goal of reading short stories this year, but now I have more mysterious ones. It feels perfect for the fall. I treated myself for a couple months to the Bookshelf Thomasville's subscription box, and I chose the middle grade version of the subscription box, and my first month came with this book, Nick Blake and the Remarkables by Angie Thomas. It's going to be kind of a girl learning that she has magic type of a story. I talked about this a little bit in my weekend vlog, so I've already talked about that one. And then I also have talked about all of these. I did go to a library book sale last weekend, and then a little garden outdoor fair type of a thing. At the fair, there was one woman who had like yard sale type stuff with a handful of books, and I picked The Mitford Murders, which is the first in this series by Jessica Fellows. I don't know if it's a series, actually. And then these are the ones I picked up at my library book sale. I did so good, only 5. I'm so proud of myself. So I have A Million Shades of Grey by Cynthia Kadohata. She wrote Kira Kira, which is a Newbery winner. And this one is about a little boy in Vietnam who's really good with elephants. And yet things are getting a little cray-cray. And he has to decide if he's going to stay in his village, which is held captive by the North Vietnamese, or if he's going to risk his life and save his elephant by fleeing into the jungle. Oh my word. I don't know what he's going to do. Another book of short stories for wintertime, Snowdrift, and other short stories by Georgette Heyer. So wintry, classic feel. The Queen of Regency Romance shines in the sparkling collection of 14 short stories, brimming with romance, intrigue, villainy, gallant heroes, compelling heroines, and of course, the dazzling world of the Regency period. Another classic middle grade that I never owned, but I read when I was a kid, The Borrowers by Mary Norton. I just love that edition. So fun. I picked up The Rent Collector by Cameron Wright. This takes place in a waste dump in Cambodia, and a couple people make their living scavenging recyclables from the trash. Life would be hard enough without the worry for their chronically ill child and the added expense of medicines that are not working. And then just when things seem at their worst, they learn a secret about the ill-tempered woman they call the rent collector, who comes each month demanding money. A secret that dates back to the Khmer Rouge and sets in motion a tide that will change the life of everyone it sweeps past. I feel like this is going to be a little bit harrowing and just about a place that is going to be so different from what is normal to me. And I think it's important to read books like that. So I'm glad I found that. And then a nonfiction that I picked up is called 40 Autumns by Nina Wilner. This is a memoir about a family who gets separated by the Berlin Wall. A family story of courage and survival on both sides of the Berlin Wall. Yikes. So we're going to follow Hannah, Oma, Heidi, Cordula, and Nina in post-World War II Berlin. There's going to be pictures in here. It's nonfiction. I am very excited about this. And Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library has read it, and she said it's fabulous. So I'm looking forward to that one. Good job to me for not getting that much at the library sale, but getting ones that are just going to be fabulous. I did purchase a few books from Amazon lately. I saw that Owl's Nest had a surprise release, The Queen of Ebenezer by K.B. Hoyle. She wrote Orion and the Starborn, which I really loved. And she has a bunch of other books as well. But this is the newest release from Owl's Nest, and I want to support them. So I picked it up right away. I don't even know what it's about. It's kind of a short story. It says, when Beatrice wakes in a magical swamp called Ebenezer, she's met with the babbling wit and curious whims of the swamp's single other human inhabitant, the boy king, Tom. But something is haunting Ebenezer, and Beatrice must solve the mystery of the swamp before a lurking terror devours them both. Bum, bum, bum. Very cool. I love the cover. I'm excited to read that one. And then I picked this one up too, The Parker Inheritance by Varian Johnson. This is going to be one of our middle grade March book club books. I think it's the June choice. So I'm starting to collect books that are going to be part of our book club, and this is one of them. Plus, Amanda from the Curly Reader really loves this one. It's a little bit of a mystery, a little bit historical. It has won a ton of awards. And we follow Candace, who finds a letter in an old attic in South Carolina. She isn't sure she should read it. It's addressed to her grandmother, who left the town in shame. But the letter describes a young woman, an injustice that happened decades ago, a mystery enfolding its writer, and the fortune that awaits the person who solves the puzzle. So with the help of Brandon, the quiet boy across the street, she begins to decipher the clues. So they're going to work together to figure out about this fortune. They're led deep into Lambert's history, full of ugly deeds, forgotten heroes, and one great love, and deeper into their own families with their own unspoken secrets. Can they find the fortune and fulfill the letter's promise before the answers slip into the past yet again? Sounds really good. I'm so excited. but that's going to be our book club choice. And then I did order one set of books from Pango. And the reason I ordered from this person is that she had Free Lunch by Rex Ogle, which is our November choice for the Middle Grade March Book Club. This is going to be a memoir, so it's for Nonfiction November as well. A memoir about a little boy who gets free lunch, and it's going to deal with racism and bullying and just a lot of difficult. Amanda has read this one as well. She said it's a difficult read, but so good. So I'm looking forward to that. And then from that same, I like when they have a deal if you purchase a certain amount, like free shipping or whatever. So I did pick up book 2 and book 4 from the Wrinkle in Time quintet. I believe there are 5 of them. So book 2 is A Wind in the Door, and book 4 is Many Waters by Madeleine L'Engle. I've read A Wrinkle in Time, but I've never carried on with a series. I'm a little worried about them because I just found A Wrinkle in Time to be so strange, but I also am very curious. So I have them for someday if I decide to finish that series. And then another book that's part of a series is Lucinda Riley's The Missing Sister. So I do think this is the last one, but I do have quite a few in this series. I've read the first one, The Seven Sisters, and really liked it. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading more in this series. I liked Lucinda Riley's writing very much, but I don't want to even read the back because it is book 7. It's going to talk about this family of sisters. Each book, I think, deals with a different sister. So looking forward to that. And that is the end of the books that I've hauled so far. But I would love to chat with you in the comments below. What do you think about these books today? Have you read any of them? Did you add any of these to your TBR? Do you want me to read any sooner rather than later? And anything else that you'd like to talk about? I love chatting with you in the comments. And that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending some time sitting and watching this video today. I really, truly appreciate it. And I look forward to talking with you in another video very soon. Bye.